Are you learning how to do your legendary items in the year of our Morgoth 2025? Well, look no further. Let's have a little chat about them, shall we? Hi, if you don't know me, I'm Queen. Welcome in. I am doing a quick little guide here on how to do your legendary items in Lord of the Rings Online. Now, if you don't know what legendary items are, they are these super awesome customizable weapons that you get around level 50. You don't need to worry about them until you hit level 45 or so. And what you're going to do, if it's your first time getting your legendary items, you're going to head on down into the southern side of Eregion, and you're going to go to Ekedunian. And here, you're going to find this lovely arch. And you're going to head on over and chit-chat with this fella here, Rathwald. Now, there's a bunch of quests to do the Walls of Moria, and that'll take you an hour or two. And as part of that, it will send you to Rivendell and back to get your first legendary item. And all you really have to do is follow the instructions of the quest. And once you have entirely completed that quest line and unlocked the Main of Moria, you will be able to go back to Rivendell and finish buffing out your legendary items. Now, there are also, for everyone who had legendary items in the past but did not update them yet. Now, this part is for you. I actually was combing through the wiki trying to figure out exactly what all I needed to tell you. And turns out what you need to know is that you can come to the legendary item menu here and it pops up if you still have your old legendary items, which I do not have them equipped. I have them in my inventory sitting over here. Remember these? Yeah, these are still sitting here. I forgot that this was an entire thing. So what you're going to do is pull these up. You're going to get out your old menu and it says appraise item. You're going to want to appraise them and deconstruct them. So let's see what happens when I push this button. We are going to get 2,400 ancient script, which is really important. We're going to use that ancient script to build our new weapons. And we're going to get some enhancement runes, which will level up the weapon. Amazing. Let's claim those. Alrighty. And then we're going to do it again on the other one. Appraise item. That's going to give us, some shattered traceries, some enhancement runes, and 2,900 ancient script. Now this character is level 64. So if your character is higher level, your weapons are higher, you'll probably get more. It is important to note that the cap on ancient script is 10,000. So the wiki said that doing the appraisals will not make you lose any. It'll allow you to go past that 10k cap, but in general, it's a 10k cap. So just double check how much you have and make sure you don't waste any. I'm at 3,700 in my wallet right now, so I am safe to claim this. Alrighty, and now those weapons are useless, you can throw them away, but remember to appraise them first. Once you've appraised them, or you've gotten your weapon, we're gonna head to Rivendell and reconvene up there, so I'll see you in just a second. Alrighty, we made it to Rivendell, to the last homely house. And you're going to head on upstairs. And you cannot access this room until you have finished the Walls of Moria. So make sure you finished that and then come here to the Word Hoard. Come on in here. And this is going to be your beautiful room where everything you need to work on your legendary items will be located. Now, first off, talk to this lovely lady here. If you do not have them yet, you will barter for your new weapons. That's right, we don't have to forge them anymore. They just exist. And they're separated by class. And just like before, you'll have a weapon and a class item. So make sure you acquire 2 items. You're going to need a weapon and whatever your class item is. Your choice of weapon, none of them are particularly better than the other. Pick what you want to use. And once you've done that, you'll hit the barter button. And there's also some other little things. You can get a map to the Tracery Hall here too. And there's also enhancement runes you can purchase as well. Those you will use to level up your traceries. You really don't have to purchase too many of them though, because they drop from instances and you'll get them out of the legendary reward track as well, which we'll talk about in a minute. So what you're going to do is you're going to equip your new weapon, pop it in your the little fire slot here, so it pops up the entirety of your menu. And here you'll see I already have slotted a couple traceries. You're going to have a heraldic tracery, which will be your main stats. And then you will have a word of power tracery. You will have word of mastery traceries, which are the class specific ones, the line specific, skill specific even. And then a word of craft, which is your final little boost that you tack on there at the end. Every time you level it up, you will possibly get new slots. So make sure you're keeping track of reforging your items and also adding in new traceries as needed. I think the first one only has one or two. There's a few less on the original. This one's already been reforged once. So this one's already got a couple of extra in it. So what you need to do to fill these out is number one, in the small, let me close these so we can see what we're doing. In this smaller room over here, you have the wall for your heraldic traceries. Now you're going to barter for these as well, just with the ancient script. And you're going to want to check all the stats on these things and just see which ones are going to be better for your class. I'm a rune keeper, so I want something that has will on it because that's my main stat. Now, if you're something else, match your heraldry to your class necessities. There's ones with might on them, there's ones with agility on them, there's ones with will. So make a choice based on what your character needs. Now, there are different levels of the traceries. So we have here, there are uncommon, rare, incomparable, and legendary. 4 different levels. Now, each one costs more as you go up, and the first few will be just ancient script, and then they become ancient script and a shattered tracery, followed by ancient script and a cracked tracery. Now, you do not need the top level ones, especially at the beginning. Don't worry about it. Just get something in your legendary items. Pick one of the beginner ones. You probably don't have a ton of ancient script to work with at this point, so don't overspend. Make sure you can get something in all of your slots. Start with your heraldric, and then there's your word of craft traceries. That's the one at the bottom, isn't it? Let's see. Pop this in here. Yeah, word of craft is the one that goes in the bottom. I know I've not filled these out. I need to work on mine. But now that I appraise those items, I actually have enough ancient script to use them. So I'll work on those very soon. And it's extremely customizable. What you need to do is decide what you want for your character and what you think will be best for your playstyle. There is no right or wrong answer for these. There is better answers, but there are no wrong answers. So if you're looking for a specific guide on what your class and your line should be using, I'm sure there are people out there who have made other guides. This guide is not going to go into detail about those things. I am just going to go over the basics of how to get yourself set up. Over here's your word of power traceries. Now, really, these are all just different versions of the same thing. They're all just your stat boosts that go into your legendary item to customize it. and boost the stats in a way that you like it. Now, once you've gotten all of these ones, these are the pretty generic ones. In here, you have all of your class-specific traceries. Now, not only are they class-specific, you're going to scooch on through here and realize that they're also line-specific. So this will tell you which line uses these. Now, my best advice on setting this up is to go through what do you use when you're playing? What are the skills that you use the most? And then buff those skills. You can always trade these out. You can always remove them and start over if you have a reclamation scroll. And you can always put in a new one, over top, replace, whatever you want to do. There is no truly wrong answer, so don't be scared. You don't want to accidentally spend your ancient script on something you're not looking for. So do check. There are different levels. Level 50 is where you're going to start if you're just getting them for the first time. And then there's level 76, level 101. So just make sure that you don't purchase something that is too high level for you to use now, or you're going to have to stick it in your inventory, find a spot in your vault. And we all know that inventory management in this game is an absolute nightmare. So just save yourself the hassle. Always double check before you hit that barter button. But also don't overstress it. Don't freak out. It's going to be okay. You got this. Now, do remember every so often you're going to want to reforge your weapon. Currently, no reforge necessary. If you're VIP, you will also have the reforge ability here on your town services that you carry around, so you don't have to worry about that too much. All right, a couple more pointers before we wrap up. Let's go over the enhancement runes really fast. Here's what I have on my runestone right now. What you do with the enhancement runes is you get to level up. You just pop them on there and you add to the level of each item. Each tracery gets leveled up separately and you can add to it at any time. Now the traceries and the enhancement runes have to be the same power level, etc. So if you're trying to use something on something that's not working and it's saying something, there's some kind of error, it's probably because they are different levels. Look really closely at the numbers. You'll figure it out. Now, there's also sometimes you will get tracery drops from instances. And if it's one that you're not going to use, remember to be carrying around your Flame of Encalamir. Flame of Encalamir. And you will right click on that and then use it to deconstruct anything that you are not going to carry around. Remember that 10k ancient script cap. Try to use up your ancient script as you go. That way you don't pass the cap, but I'm sure you can figure out how to manage that. Now, one more thing. The legendary item reward track, you're going to press Shift and then I on your keyboard, and this is going to pop up this lovely thing. So you're wondering where you're going to get all of these enhancement runes, extra ancient script, etc. It's going to be through this. This is going to be your bestie on getting your legendary items leveled up. What you want to do is on any character that has a legendary item that you are currently playing will feed into and level up the legendary item reward track. Now, every character on the server feeds into this. However, you can only claim each reward once total. So you know, you've been playing one character, but you want to claim it on another, you can totally do that, but you can only claim it once, just so you know. Every character feeds in, only one can claim. And if you claim it on the wrong character, you can still send it to them, send it to the correct character, because it's account bound. I do believe almost all the time, so you should be good. It's very forgiving. Don't stress about it. But do remember to claim them, because sometimes you'll go a couple weeks of playing, and I think it's just under 3 months for each legendary item reward track. We're on number 13 now, and there's actually some really cool stuff on here. There's coffers, there's hoards, there is very interesting things that float in here. There's embers and figments. There's special pets. Legendary coffer of the glorious memories of Gondor. Now that sounds cool. A set of housing decorations to memorialize Gondor's glorious history at level 75. So there is some cool stuff in here. So do make sure you check that out and remember to claim them. Alrighty, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to talk about. Remember to open your things, read your things, pay attention to different levels and stuff, and disenchant anything you're not going to use. Remember to come over here, legendary items. Remember to appraise those if you're coming back, and then just go build a weapon. I think that's everything. If I have completely missed a bunch of stuff, I do apologize. If you have any further questions, drop them in the comments. I'm also going to tag the wiki link to this as well, so you can see the actual levels on where things change, where things are reforged. All of those numbers are going to be on the wiki, so I'm not going to try to say them all right now. But I hope this helps, and I hope this makes you a little more confident in setting up your legendary items. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care, and I'll see you again next time. Goodbye.